What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about the massive Chris Pratt and the MCU cast debacle. I would honestly call it a disaster at this point. Now, I get this is probably a very different video than what I normally do, but considering it involves the MCU cast, I feel like I can make an exception to talk about it. I know I don't get super political, and I'm really not going to get political in this video at all, but I want to mainly just point out a couple of key issues, a couple of key things in general that happen on social media. And I think like a learning lesson for a lot of people. So I really do feel like there's going to be some value here. So look, Chris Pratt got in some trouble, let's call it, by social media, by people online, by not attending a Joe Biden rally, like an online fundraiser, with a couple other of the castmates of the MCU movies. Okay, that's pretty much where it started, and that's fine enough. He could have had 1,000 other things to do. He could have had family issues. He could have been filming some. I mean, we don't actually know. He could have just felt like he didn't want to do it. Okay, there is, I guess, the possibility that he doesn't like, Joe Biden, right? And there's obviously that pathway. But the point is, he didn't do one thing that is not required of any individual to do, but obviously it's required of Hollywood to support one person, and we all know who that is, right? And again, I'm not picking sides, but I do want to illustrate or highlight the hypocrisy of a lot of people, and that's what we get here. So he didn't do it, and he got a lot of backlash for that, a ton. And over the past couple days, we've seen a lot of the MCU cast, right? Mark Ruffalo, Robert Downey Jr., and now these guys are very pro-Biden, like liberal leftists, right? And I always, even with that, I don't really care. I normally just call them Hollywood elite. Remember, my standpoint on all of them, musicians, actors, actresses, whatever, they're fine in their role. I've never really agreed with people that say that they shouldn't be allowed to talk about things that are outside of it. Of course, they should be able to. Everybody has the right to do that. But do you have the right to not listen to them? Oh, absolutely. And honestly, I don't think anybody should be listening. So while they do have the right to talk about that kind of stuff, politics, anything like that, there's zero reason to actually listen to them because for the most part, they're very, very uneducated with all that stuff. And why would you take a Hollywood elite multi-millionaire's opinion on the political world? What do they actually know, and are they actually on your side in the first place? The answer for both of those things is no, by the way. And so they came to the defense of Chris Pratt, and this is kind of where the story is updated right now. So again, a couple of these, James Gunn even is one of them that came to the defense of Chris Pratt, and they are being destroyed by the mob pretty much online. And this is, in my opinion, this is the highlight. This is why I call it just a disaster. Actually, it's a really good, funny enough, Chris Pratt actually started a really good disaster because all it continues to show is the hypocrisy of all of them, because you have these and again, it doesn't even matter who you support. I don't care, and I'm never going to tell you who to support, okay? You have people like Mark Ruffalo, though, who are obviously very, very vocal, very, very hating of one side and very, very of supporting the other side, okay? We all know that. Robert Downey Jr., same thing. Scarlett Johansson, same thing. And we have them now defending Chris Pratt as a person, saying, hey, Mark Ruffalo said, like, keep your eyes on the prize. Like, let's not let this distract us. And it's like, shut up. And then you have all the other people saying, he's a fantastic guy. His actions in life speak for themselves. Just because he's a Christian or whatever doesn't mean, it doesn't mean anything. Like, don't take that. So really, what they're trying to do, okay, is spin it to say, well, even if he is supporting Trump or if he's not supporting Biden or whatever, to keep in mind that, in a way, they don't even want you to believe that, which, again, you don't have to believe that, and if you want to, that's completely fine. Like, I get why people are going down the different rabbit holes, but the biggest thing is now they are being attacked for defending Chris Pratt. So now they are being called some pretty terrible names just for the basic act of defending a guy who actually has never once said who he supports. In fact, I believe a few years ago, he said that he doesn't support either side, that he sees himself as an individual, which is shocking, right? That's just a shocking thing. Isn't that what I've always preached on these channels? Be yourself, be an individual. Obviously, I wouldn't go so far as to say, like, don't listen to anybody, but, do the research, form your own opinions, and be careful, I guess, who you listen to. So I find it just hilarious because you have all of these very liberal, and that is where I will take a side here, by the way. That is more of the cancel culture mob. That is more of the crazy people that do. Now, are there crazy people on both sides? Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying there isn't. But you do have, I would say, the supporters for the Hollywood elite. They are the ones that are willing to go cancel culture on pretty much anything. There are thousands of examples of that, and it's always, in my opinion, fantastic when it backfires, because I think hopefully, or at least I want this, eventually I want them to see, oh, it actually can come for anybody. We see this on YouTube channels all the time, right? When people are demanding that different channels are terminated or that different things are suppressed, but then when they happen to themselves, they say, "Oh my God, YouTube, how could you have done this?" Well, I mean, you were asking. Oh, you didn't want it done. Oh, you didn't want it done to yourself. You wanted it done to everybody else. So I get it, and that's how a lot of them. Now, I'm not saying you are them. If you support some of the stuff, it's fine. But I mean, I will call out the people that go that far. I mean, if you are those people, you really don't have a place on this channel. I'm willing to say so. I mean, I don't want like a cancel culture kind of person on the channels. I don't think that's actually unfair to say. But that's why these things are funny in that kind of way, because while these guys are all freaking out, the Hollywood elite are like, oh my God, we have to go defending Chris Pratt now, and now we're being attacked like there's no tomorrow. And it's like, well, we're all on the same side, guys. Well, that's hopefully when they realize, which they won't, but that's when they'll realize, hey, like the cancel culture, the cancel mob, they come for everybody. The second you make a mistake, the second you go against the grain, even though, again, Mark Ruffalo said, hey, he's a fantastic guy. Don't let his Christianity, sway you into thinking anything. He's fantastic. Let his decisions speak for themselves. Don't take your eyes off the prize, because we still have a president to elect, and don't you dare, vote for the other one. That's Mark Ruffalo, and then it's really great to see him say that, which is a stupid statement, and then have people attack him for defending Chris Pratt. That's the best part. That's the best part. I don't wish anybody to, now, again, going too far in terms of threats and stuff, which I won't say just in case YouTube has a problem with it. I mean, obviously, that is a problem, right? So you can go too far when you make those kind of those statements, I guess, right? Obviously, I don't condone any of that stuff, and I don't recommend that stuff, but it is funny when things kind of blow up in their face in the reverse, you know what I mean? Because, again, they think they have it all under control. All of a sudden, somebody goes against somebody like Chris Pratt, who's like a free thinker, which is actually very refreshing, no matter what you think of the guy. I don't even care who he's voting for. I don't care, and I think actually Jeremy from the Quartering said this really well. I don't care if he's the most diehard Joe Biden fan or Trump fan. Doesn't matter actually which side. I don't care if he's the most diehard fan in the world. He knows to just not talk about it, because it's just this, you know what I mean? It does. I feel like he's made the personal decision to decide that it doesn't belong in his work career, and he doesn't want people to kind of base that stuff or base him off of that stuff. Okay, and a lot of people do that, by the way, and I think that's what separates him from pretty much 90. I mean, there are a lot of just mindless robots in Hollywood. In fact, I would say there's 99% of them. The 1% is like the Chris Pratt, is like a couple other ones, is like a Keanu Reeves. They're the ones who are actually free thinkers. They're the ones who maybe go against the grain, but also maybe just don't even speak out as much, and they'll get attacked for that. And then again, if you defend them, well, now you're in some really, really big trouble. So fantastic, I would say, all around. I don't wish anything on Chris Pratt, because he's actually, I think, the most neutral and the best one of this group that's getting attacked. So I want those attacks to stop, but those are the lunatics that are attacking him, see? And they're not going to stop. And then they're the same ones that go after Mark Ruffalo, Robert Downey Jr., when they were always in support of them. But again, it's good. It's good to see vultures eating themselves alive. It's good to see them attacking each other, because hopefully they eliminate each other at some point. So, guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Again, I know this was a different topic, but I do think it was serious. I do think this was something that I needed to talk about, that I wanted to discuss, because this just, again, is the hypocrisy that, everybody, really, they'll attack each other on a snap of a finger, like a Thanos snap, actually, to keep it in the MCU universe. It will be that quickly before they turn on each other, and I honestly think that's a very important lesson. That's why, again, make your own decisions. If I am going to tell you to not listen to anybody, the Hollywood elite are not the people to listen to on your political or really any decision in life, okay? They're there for a purpose. They have every right to have other opinions on other things. That's fine, but you don't have to listen to them, and I think too many people do. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up, and if you liked this kind of more spicy, edgier topic, I'm definitely looking to do more of them, and so I'll just kind of depend on how the reception for this video is. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on tomorrow's video.